What's up, guys? So it's the 29th, which means that Feb 1st for me ends at midnight, and I'm not gonna do a sugar binge because that's just gonna make me feel sick, honestly. I used to have a mad sugar addiction, just like low key though, and since doing Feb 1st, I went in the other day to get some TV snacks because I'm currently watching my way through The 100 on Netflix, because I am behind as all get out on everything, and I just figured that I would start there. But so I'm watching through it, and I wanted a TV snack, and I happened to walk down the confectionery aisle, because it also happened to be the same aisle that my tea bags, which you can see just here, they were in the same aisle, and so I was walking down there to get those, and I sort of turned around and just honestly the sight of the packaging, I was not into it. I know Red's supposed to like subconsciously make you feel hungrier, but it just wasn't. I was like, yeah, nah, even if I wasn't doing Feb Fast, I'm not interested, which is really good for my health, so that's a plus. But we're going to talk about the things that actually have to do with the 29th of February today. Obviously, Big Day Babies is going to be a thing. It's the last point that I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to sort of start with personal opinion, the least significant thing on this list. I am on dateandtime.com, which, if you've watched some of my other videos, is the same website. I've got the hiccups. Is the same website that I use to get information for the full moon videos when I do those. So it is the same site, and it has 5 nice little tidbits, and I can sort of, by rearranging the order that they've written them in, I can sort of have each of them segue into each other really nicely. So we're going to start with St. Oswald's Day. Leap Day is also St. Oswald's Day, named after the Archbishop of York, who died on February 29th, 992, a long time ago. His memorial is celebrated on February 29th during leap years, because that was the day he died, but in common years it's the 28th of February. And I did look this saint up to see what he had done to be sainted, and there wasn't really anything super interesting. I think he had like encouraged people from France or Denmark or somewhere like that to go to England, where he was obviously the Archbishop of York, in order to help educate the clergy. And other than that, I couldn't really see anything else of great significance. Unlike, and according to Irish legend, or in this case I'm opting for history, St. Bridget, whose feast day is the 2nd? So the 1st or the 2nd of February. I did my video on it on the 2nd. It also happens to coincide with the Celtic festival Imbolc, which is linked down below. I did a video on that on the 2nd, and I do talk about St. Bridget in that video. But she struck a deal with St. Patrick, whose video is coming in 17 days on St. Patrick's Day, and the deal was to allow women to propose to men, not just the other way around, every 4 years on Leap Day, and it's believed to have been introduced to balance the traditional roles of men and women in a similar way to how the leap year and the leap day specifically balances out the calendar. It can also be seen, if you want to interpret it this way, as one of the earliest sort of feminist movements, by allowing women to actually have the right to propose to and therefore have their own sort of independence in the whole marriage thing. In some places, for this exact same reason, Leap Day has also been known as Bachelor's Day, and a man was expected to pay a penalty, such as a gown or money, if he refused a marriage proposal from a woman on Leap Day. This is obviously not the case anymore, although if a woman is going to propose to you, it's obvious that she knows for certain that she wants to be with you, and you need to make your mind up on the spot and stop wasting everybody's time if that's not the case. In many European countries, however, especially in the upper classes of society, the tradition dictated that any man who refused a woman's proposal on February 29th had to buy her 12 pairs of gloves, one for each month, and the intention was that the woman would wear those gloves to hide the embarrassment of not having an engagement ring. During the Middle Ages, there were even laws governing that particular tradition. So during the Middle Ages, on February 29th, if a woman proposed to you and you turned her down, you were by law required to buy her 12 pairs of gloves. So yeah, that's sort of a weird thing to think about. The Greeks considered it unlucky for couples to marry during a leap year, and especially on Leap Day. And in Scotland, it used to be considered unlucky for someone to be born on Leap Day, the same as how Friday the 13th is apparently cursed or unlucky. And so obviously, people born on February 29th, leap year babies, are all invited to join the Honour Society of Leap Year Day Babies. There is a link in this article, we will loosely refer to it as, that reads, when do Leap Day babies celebrate their birthdays? My sort of further question to that is how, and I'll get into that in a second. I'll finish reading this first, because yeah, this one point brings so many questions and so many story ideas to mind that I may sort of start to work on sort of behind the scenes a little bit. So according to the Guinness Book of Records, there are Leap Day world record holders, both of a family producing 3 consecutive generations of people born on February 29th. And I would like to think of that as like direct descendants and not like Uncle Frank and then, you know, Grandma and Cousin Billy on the other side of the family. Like I prefer to think of this as like it was grandpa, then dad, then your brother sort of thing. Because otherwise, if it's like, oh yeah, no, they've got 3 generations and it's sort of this weird zigzag pattern rather than like him, then him, then him, you know, more of a straight line sort of thing. I don't know. I don't think that really should hold a record. It is still some weird coincidence, or even potentially at this point like science, like that family's decided that February 29th babies are their thing that defines them from everyone else, and they've like gotten it, like you must conceive on this particular date or within this week sort of thing, to have a February 29th baby, which is kind of crazy. But there's another one as well for the number of children born on February 29th within the same family. I read that is within the same generation, which says to me that more likely the case, rather than just like having a kid every 4 years sort of thing on that day, is that it was more or less like just triplets or something like that, quadruplets maybe, and they just happened to have more than one child during the same pregnancy, all born on February 29th. But if that's not the case, then that's even more sort of, in my head at least, evidence that those two records may be held by the same family. As I said, if that family's decided that Feb 29 babies are their thing, that sounds like the kind of thing that they do. Like, okay, well, like, yeah, we've started the third generation, but what if we just continue this generation all being Feb 29 babies, which would kind of be crazy. But going back to how they celebrate their birthdays, do they, because I know that there's like, I don't even know if at this point if it's a joke or if it's actually how some people look at it, but is it a case of you have your birthday on February 29th and then 4 years later, instead of turning 1, you turn 4? Or do you actually believe that you turn 1? Because in which case, your life expectancy is a quarter what it is for everyone else. So if for instance, everyone else's is somewhere around the 88 mark, right? I think it's like 89 or something for men or women or something at the moment. Between 89 and 92, I think, at the moment, is sort of the average life expectancy. That means that for you, it's between 22 and 23, which I'm 25, so, I mean, again, you will have lived for those same number of years. You will still technically be in that age, but by birth, you will not be celebrating that birthday. Or when a leap day baby turns 1, do you just go, oh, they went from 0 to 4, and then the next birthday is their 8th, then the next one's their 12th, and then their 16th, etc. Because does that therefore mean that when you celebrate their 20th, you have this big blow up because they turned 18 in that time, and then in the next one, because they would have turned 21 during that gap? Like, see what I'm getting at? Like, how is more of an interesting question than when? So I'm gonna click on this link and we're gonna have a little read to ourselves. There's even a term for them. Leaplings, people born on a leap day. Leaplings, okay, first of all, sounds like some low budget, not trying to be disrespectful to people born on a leap day, okay? I will just continue referring to you as leap day babies. But leaplings sounds like some no-frills ripoff of a race from Dungeons and Dragons, where instead of being like dragonborn or having some sort of demon parentage, one of their ancestors was like some mutant frog or something. I don't know. But it says that they celebrate their birthdays either February 28th or March 1 in common years. Okay. Ooh, we do actually have the world records listed here. I can go into more detail on that. That's cool. Sure. I wasn't planning on reading this bit, but let's do it. A leap year day on February 29th, because why does it say nearly every 4 years? It's every 4 years, guys. The cycle of the Earth around the Sun is 365 and a quarter days. It's every 4 years. There's no nearly about it. It's not like, 5 years this time, 3 years the next. It's 4 years every time. It's also how we know that this year's going to be the Olympics, because the Olympics are held on leap years. However, leap day babies, what have we got here? Leaplings, leapers, or leapsters. Okay, leapsters in an anthropomorphic world is a frog that wears and lives by the hipster lifestyle. Leapers almost is spelled exactly the same as lepers. You don't want to be associated with that, and I've already addressed what I think about leaplings. Okay, can we just leap year babies? Okay, it's not that hard. Okay, we don't need some cool hip term for everything. Reject labels, okay? But they still get to celebrate their birthday in common years. Some celebrate on February 28th. Some prefer March 1. which honestly is how I would celebrate it. I would do both days and just give them sort of like a 2-day period in which to celebrate. I would obviously also jokingly say that there's a second in between, sort of right at the very cusp of 11:59 on the 28th and 12 midnight on the 1st. There's like that 1 second where it changes over, and that's the 29th for that year. And so they'd have to sort of, I don't know, be awake and we'd all blow out candles or something right at that specific moment. I don't know. Says here, however, many countries have laws defining which date a person born on February 29th comes of age in legal terms. For instance, in New Zealand, the official birthday falls on February 28th in common years. In other countries like the United States, leap year babies have to wait until March 1st. Right. So I think that sort of fixes that issue for me then. It would just be, I'd have to find out when does Australia signify the coming of age for a particular, like for leap year babies. Okay. I still think having a two-day thing would be, like what here, particularly if the 28th and the 1st are a Saturday and a Sunday or a Friday and a Saturday, like what kid doesn't want to stay home from school on a Friday to celebrate their birthday and then still also be celebrating their birthday the next day? You know, like sleepovers for one would be the only way to spend it. Leap year world records, according to the Guinness Book of Records, the only verified example of a family producing 3 consecutive generations. Okay, we've got the first Peter Anthony. Is that supposed to be Koff? I don't know. Apologies if I pronounced your surname incorrectly, sir. But he was born in Ireland on leap day in 1940. His son, Peter Eric, in 64. And then his daughter, Bethany Wealth, that's an interesting middle name, in 1996, which would put her around about my age at the moment. That's kind of cool. They're not the same family. I guess I'll just have to let that sit in my head and become a story. But the Henriksen family in Norway currently holds the official world record for the most number of children born in one family. Right. Okay, so Karen Henriksen gave birth to three children on February 29th. I was right. It wasn't like down to a science. It was just a large pregnancy. Oh no. Hold on. It was 3 different pregnancies. Okay, they did get down to a science. Reading through this is wild. The first daughter, Heidi, was born in 1960. Her first son in 1964, and her second son in 1968. So it was literally every 4 years. Wow, that's crazy. I'm still going to be writing a story about, third generation triplets born on a leap day, because I think that's going to, considering all the different sort of myths and stuff surrounding this day, that story could have a whole lot of that being part of its core narrative, which would be pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. If you enjoyed today's video and my little sort of getting sidetracked on every other point, excuse me, let's restart that. If you enjoyed today's video, both the actual subject matter and my me getting sidetracked on every other point, then make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, then you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos, and stay in the loop that way. Let me know what sort of videos you'd like to see in the future, and if I can put them in somewhere, I 100% will. I'm always sort of trying to figure out what the next month's going to be. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be starting to work on my April, what am I trying to say here? On my April upload schedule. So that's going to be a whole heap of fun. And yeah, with all of that stuff out of the way, until next time guys, keep your head screwed on.